Welcome to Headline to Heartline. Today in the video, we'll tell you the breaking news about the meeting with Trump and Xi Jinping, why it matters right now, and then I will give you a quick, clear look at what is behind the price of fentanyl so the headlines make sense from your kitchen table. Let's reflect about the situation. On October 30, 2025, in Busan, South Korea, Donald Trump and Xi Jinping held their first face-to-face meeting in years. Afterward, Trump said he would immediately cut a specific tariff tied to fentanyl-related imports from 20% to 10%, and lower the overall average tariff on Chinese goods from about 57% to about 47%. In return, Xi Jinping, by Trump's account and independent reporting from the scene, committed to intensify enforcement against companies that produce and ship the chemical ingredients used to make fentanyl, to keep rare earth exports flowing under a one-year understanding, and to resume large purchases of American farm goods. The tone was warmer than expected, and the tariff step sounded immediate, which made the outcome feel like more than a talking point. A few days earlier, in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, Trump met Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva on the sidelines of a regional summit. They agreed that their teams would start work right away on solutions to the steep tariffs and related disputes that have strained relations this year. Taken together, the Malaysia meeting with President Lula and the Busan meeting with Xi Jinping point to the same pivot. Rather than rely only on punishment, Washington is testing targeted compromises that trade specific tariff relief for cooperation and stability. The Brazil track aims at unwinding friction that hits exporters and jobs in both countries. The China track links tariff relief to measurable action against fentanyl inputs and a one-year calm in critical minerals. Both are experiments you can evaluate by what happens next, not by how the photos look. If you are skeptical that a diplomatic handshake changes daily life, you are right to ask for the practical version. Most families will not notice anything tomorrow. What you may notice over the next few months are small but real changes at the edges of everyday routines. If Chinese regulators actually shut down non-compliant chemical exporters and audit shipping channels, it becomes harder for cartel labs in Mexico to get steady and high-quality ingredients. That does not erase street supply overnight. It makes it more erratic. In practice, that can mean fewer counterfeit pills showing up at a local party, fewer emergency calls that follow a sudden cluster of overdoses, and fewer school alerts about dangerous batches circulating. Police and EMTs in some towns can get a little breathing room because they are responding to fewer crises. If the one-year rare earth arrangement holds, your repair shop is less likely to tell you a part is delayed without a clear date. Car makers and electronics suppliers can plan production runs with fewer last-minute substitutions, which helps keep delivery timelines steadier. If the average tariff level eases, the change on store shelves will be modest at first. Small businesses that buy parts, tools, or materials from China may get a little relief on costs, which can shave a few dollars off bids or keep a service call from getting more expensive next quarter. The caveat is time. Enforcement needs months to ripple through supply chains. If inspections lose focus or cartels root around new controls, the benefits fade. If inspections bite and are paired with better parcel screening and local prevention, the curve of harm can bend, not in headlines but in quieter weeks at the ER. Here is the fast, clear overview of fentanyl, so the logic of the deal is easy to see. Fentanyl is a lab-made painkiller so powerful that pinhead amounts can kill. The illegal market works like a short assembly line. Legitimate factories, often in Asia, make chemical ingredients that sometimes get diverted. Cartel labs in Mexico convert those inputs into powder and press counterfeit pills with simple machines. Small, potent parcels cross into the United States through vehicles, mail, and couriers, and the drug is mixed into fake versions of familiar medicines. Price follows the ease of each step. When ingredients are easy to buy, pill presses are abundant, and border risk feels low, wholesale costs fall and supply expands. When governments tighten export controls on precursor chemicals, step up parcel seizures, disrupt money routes, or make pill presses harder to obtain, the risk premium rises, supply thins, and prices lift. Because fentanyl is so potent, dealers can keep retail prices low even when risks rise, which is why policy has to hit the inputs and not just chase finished pills. That is the slice of the chain this meeting tries to squeeze. If this straight talk helps you cut through the noise, please like and subscribe so more people can find it. Why did this meeting feel expected and still land with surprise? It was expected because both leaders needed a path to reduce the temperature without looking weak. It was surprising because Trump's language was notably positive, and because the fentanyl-related tariff cut was presented as immediate rather than a distant maybe. Supporters call this a highlight for Trump in a year crowded with rough news because it turns blunt pressure into an exchange that can be verified. If Xi Jinping does what he says, and the United States sees fewer suspect exporters, more joint investigations, and continued access to rare earths, then the policy hits upstream where it counts. Critics answer that rewarding Beijing before results appear risks losing leverage, and they warn that cartels adapt quickly and may have stockpiles. Both views deserve space. The realistic middle is this: no one wakes up tomorrow to a different world. But over the next 6 to 12 months, you can watch for specific indicators like factory audits and shutdowns in China, seizures and lab closures in Mexico, fentanyl positivity in local drug samples, and the steadiness of parts deliveries for the goods you use. If those needles move in the right direction, you will feel it not as a headline but as fewer scares, steadier work weeks, and slightly less strain in household budgets. For Trump, many will see this as correcting a recent mistake, or at least beginning to correct a series of them. Years of ever higher tariffs did not deliver the fentanyl results families hoped for. Trading a slice of tariff pressure for actions that can be tracked gives the policy a measurable target. For Xi Jinping, there is diplomatic credit and some economic relief, along with the burden of proving that enforcement is more than paperwork. Technology and security disputes remain unsettled, and no one should pretend this meeting solved them. What it did was link trade to a public health goal in a way that gives both sides something concrete to measure. I would love to hear your take. Do you think exchanging targeted tariff relief for verified enforcement will make a difference where you live? Or do you worry the gains will be too small to notice? Tell me in the comments how you would balance pressure and cooperation when the stakes are this personal. Thank you for spending this time with me. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video if you found this useful, and share it with a friend who prefers substance over noise. We opened with breaking news because something shifted, and we close by watching whether that shift becomes a steady light you can follow.